All right, so let's start talking about the information that lives in recipe lines. So one of the most confusing things to me, let me back up. So let's say I build a preset and I go into it and I hit this turn into recipe button. I did not feel like it was explained very well as to what the fuck is actually happening here. Maybe it was, and I glossed over it. I do have a habit of that. But to explain to others who may not understand, as in the same way that I was confused, this particular thing that I'm highlighting over here, this is not a recipe. This whole line is the recipe. What's contained within here, I've submitted a request. I'm sure it's gone to absolute nowhere with the rest of everything I've sent in. Is that this just be changed to values or something that expresses what is contained within here, because this thing is not a recipe. This is, I treat this at this point as a preset that is buried within a recipe line. It can be moved in and out of the recipe line as freely as a preset can with the omission of its selection. So what I mean by that is that's actually what my workflow thing is doing here. So this line will say recipe, main recipe line, just to give it a unique name. What my plugin is doing, and again, what a macro could do, is it is just copying that out into its own preset so that the update workflow that is built into the console will work on it correctly. If I was to say, let's say we've called that Lyra dim recipe, and we'll go ahead and apply the Lyras to that, just to complete the recipe line. If I go into our command line here and I say copy preset, say 25, which is the pool that we're using right now, .4, which is our preset number, .1, which is our recipe line, at preset 25.17, which is going to be this spot, and hit enter, we see that the information that was living in here has been copied into its own preset. And if I call that up, it is doing exactly what it was doing before. I'm actually going to go in and we'll apply an MA3 of 360 with 2 wings, and I will copy that same whatever command line command. So we've copied that out. You can see that this one has a matrix built into it. If I grab my Lyra and hit this recipe, we see that it's doing the same thing as if I double click on this that has the preset information baked into it. So as we're going through this, just treat this as an independent recipe. Treat this as an independent preset that is living inside of the recipe. Its address has moved from the preset pool to a room within a room in the preset pool. Where this becomes relevant is understanding what is referencing what. So you can see in the color preset that I built in the demo that we have 3 lines that are all referencing another recipe line. Again, treat this as a preset. These lines are referencing this preset. There is a syntax for this as well. If I wanted, actually I should copy this. Same as you would copy a preset, you just add another dot into the equation to copy or to manipulate a recipe line. So if I want, this is going to be line 5. So if I want these to reference line 5, we're going to call it line 5. I would say assign preset 25. Again, that is our pool. Dot 2, that is our preset number. Dot 5 at these, and we can see now these are referencing this line. Part of what the plugin that I've built does is it goes through and it specifically looks for presets that are just buried within a recipe line, whether or not they're being referenced by something. Things that are not referencing anything external If I hit extract on this right now, I must have fat fingered something. We'll see that two objects have been created, one for each of those internal presets. I'm going to call them internal presets to call them by what they're functioning as. Each of those has been copied out into a new preset object that we can manipulate. And what the plugin has done is changed all of our references from pointing to this to pointing to those copies that we just made. We manipulate the copies, and then the plugin reverses what it did and copies those presets back into the internal recipe presets. It is important to understand this, because what I was doing for a long time, and I think what it might have even been in my original video, is I would take this line, I would copy it, I would paste it, I would paste it again, and I would just keep changing groups on all of this. But then if I want to make an edit, again, I think I've already shown this earlier. Sorry if I didn't already. But if I want to grab all these and I want to change them to -360, well, that's not working because I actually only grabbed the last one out of that chain. But more importantly is when let's say I used the stupid fucking edit recipe 1 thing, which I will never touch again. But let's say I was using that to update my preset. And I go into step 2 and we make our transition super duper short. And I don't know, I guess I use update from here. Are my shortcuts on? They're not. I say update. Sure, we'll update Lyra dim recipe. Now I'm going to double click this. Well, we can see that our Lyras are super short moving out to in, but everything else is retaining its original length, because the only thing that I updated was this first recipe line. So instead of that, I can, and also this is my third take on this, so if I've already said this, I apologize. If you just add a new recipe line, by default it references the first recipe line that is in the preset. So you don't have to know the syntax to be able to use this feature. You can just add new recipe lines. I didn't realize it does that. So I can just add new recipe lines that are using these other groups. Oops. Tornado cells, and I'll actually do one for Lyra so that I can clear the Lyras out of this line and keep this as just a reference that doesn't have fixtures built into it. And now, if I clear out and double tap this again, we see that everything is using that same width. If we look in our phaser editor, they're all using that transition width. Now, referencing back to that bit about how universal isn't just universal, it also includes global, that's where we can fuck ourselves with this bit here. So we have multiple fixture types referencing the same universal information. All well and good until we go to update it. We have to be careful about how we are doing that. So if I grab just one set of fixtures, and let's say I update the transition on the second step so it gets a lot wider. What I'll do a lot of the time is when I'm storing into these, I'll store into a separate preset pool first, because you get this random selective bullshit. So I'll store once, grab it again, store again to make sure it's storing universal, to make sure that the selective is whatever bug this is and not actual selective information. And then I'll store that, merge it in here. Had I updated it, I would be fine right now, but I didn't. And what we're going to see is, even though we just see universal on here in our MA3 applied, if I double click this, we see two different waveforms happening here. If we want to do that, I'm going to show you next how we accomplish that, but this more often than not just makes me want to punch things, because then I've got to figure out which fixture type am I keeping, which am I discarding, whatever. If this happens to you in the process of building a phaser, grab a fixture type, grab whichever one is doing the waveform that you want to keep, and then store MA3 universal and overwrite the original preset. And now if I grab this again, everything is doing the same thing. So we're going to merge that back in there. And I haven't really explained any of these macros yet, so that's probably going to be another video that gets scattered in here somewhere. Anyways, the point of this video is focusing on just what is referencing what. So understand that when each of these things that just say recipe are their own standalone preset. If you go into here and copy, well, sorry. If I make, I'm not hitting the right buttons anywhere. What's going on? Store here. Store here. Thank you. My point being, if I copy this, paste this, as we talked about earlier, these are to be treated as two separate preset objects. If you make a copy of one from one to another, they're no longer referencing each other. They're no longer the same information. And we will see situations where that is helpful, and more often we will see situations where it's just kind of a pain in the ass. So in the next video, I'm going to start, one, explaining these macros, and then two, we'll go into building a dimmer preset with this workflow.